I interviewed a man from Norway a few days ago. His son got into a cataclysmic accident and he lost a whole lot. You know, he got real ill, and he had a helicopter that had to go into the mountains to pick him up after his accident, take him to the hospital, all that good stuff. And he never had to pay a dime because within their social safety net, everybody pays taxes for whatever eventuality could happen to anyone. And, he was saying, Egberto, let me tell you, we're in Norway, and, every now and then we run up against our right wing as well. So check this out.
Yeah, I saw one of your videos the other day and you were talking to somebody. I thought, man, people need to know about this. And yeah, we're living it. There's a lot of stuff. Life is complicated and nothing is free. Sure, it's expensive to live in Norway, but you don't have to pay $15,000 a year to, I don't know where I would get $15,000 a year to pay for health insurance.
Yeah, that's what it costs.
But, we pay more for gasoline. We pay a moderate amount of taxes, income tax. We just got a different attitude, and there, we got right wingers here too who are trying to privatize stuff. They managed to privatize railroads last year, and it just went to hell in a handbasket, and all the prices went up, and trains didn't run on time. They're trying to privatize the post office and stuff. Fortunately, they haven't come so far as to ruin the healthcare system. So
that is what a lot of people don't understand. What you just said is prescient. Absolutely so. Now, the reason I brought that up, over here, everybody wants to privatize everything. Not everybody. The capitalists want to privatize everything. What I try to inform people is math is absolute. If you try to privatize something that's in the commons, healthcare, transportation, and all these kinds of issues like I'm talking about city transportation and all of that. The only way it works, right? Because remember, the company, corporation, or whatever, who's going to buy the buses, who are going to buy the trains, they're not only going to do that, right? They also want to make high salaries for their executives, and they also want to have a profit for the shareholders who are going to buy the trains. But if you're a government and you buy the trains and you buy the buses, you don't have to pay executives high salaries. You don't have to pay shareholders. You don't have to pay any of that. You just have to have the cost of the bus, the cost of the trains, the maintenance of all of these, right? And that means a lower cost to everybody who has to pay the bus fare, the train fares, etc. So something like that's essential, like people moving around in a city in buses and trains. Something as essential as healthcare. We want to have the least privatization in those domains. And why do we want the least privatization? Because we understand the additional cost of privatization. People like to talk about efficiency. There's nothing inherent within privatization that is more efficient than government, right? The same people that would work for government is the same people that would work for a private company. The question is about leadership. The question is about how efficient you will make leadership. What the Powell Manifesto had to do. The Powell Manifesto had to make Americans stupid. It had to tell you that there was something inherently better in a private company than a public company. And the really only difference between the private and public company is that a private company, they have leaders, they have managers. A public company have leaders and managers, but that private company also has shareholders and bonuses for executives that they work for. That's how it works. So inherently, the only way for those executives and those shareholders to get money is either to raise the prices of the same product being produced either by the public company or the private company, or to pay the employees of the private company less so that more of that money can go to the shareholders. And that's exactly what happened. From charter schools, if you take a look at charter schools that are private, they pay their teachers less. They have less requirements of the teachers in order for their shareholders and executives to make more. It's not rocket science. It's math. But what they try to do to you, my brothers and my sisters, is to ask you to disregard those realities. And you disregard those realities at your peril. Because what it means is as you go down that road of privatization, it means teachers make less money. It means all the people working within those sectors ultimately will be minimized. So they say, but wait, isn't it true that the public sector pays more? It all depends on the job. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. So we have to learn these issues so that we don't have those who lie to you actually are successful.